Welcome, dear students, to our English class. I am teacher Veldrina Gonsalves, and today we are going to study lesson 4.3 World Heritage. Before we start the lesson, let's begin with the warming up. Warming up. First one, pair up with your partner and answer the following questions. Now, students, over here, you all can write your own answers or own personal answers to few questions. A. Do you like to travel? Yes. You all can write if yes or no. B. Where have you traveled? Now, students, you all must have traveled to many different places, so you all can mention those places. My answer I have written, I have traveled to many famous places in Maharashtra. C. Have you heard about the wonders of the world? Students, if you all have heard, then write yes. If you all have heard, if you all have not heard, then write no. D. Have you heard about UNESCO? If yes, then write yes. If you all have not heard, then write no. E. What does UNESCO stand for? UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. F. What is meant by heritage? Heritage is something that is valued and preserved because of its historical, cultural, natural importance. G. Do you know any heritage building in your city? Students, here you have to find out the heritage building in your city and write it down. Second one, your teacher will explain the heritage cycle and we have to complete the heritage cycle. Heritage cycle means that the heritage must be understood, valued, cared for and enjoyed in order to be shared. Now, by understanding heritage cycle, people will value it. They will also get to know the history about it. By valuing, people will want to care for it and people will also become aware about their responsibility. By caring, people will enjoy it and it will also attract tourists, so it creates job and businesses. And from enjoying comes a thirst to understand and more people want to know its great history. Third one, do you know the difference between World Heritage and Cultural Heritage? Now, students, here you all have to write the difference between the two, World Heritage and Cultural Heritage. I have already written it. If you all find few more points, you all can mention it over here. World Heritage. World Heritage means a global heritage that belongs to everyone. Cultural heritage. Cultural heritage is the legacy of physical artifacts and intangible attributes of society that are inherited from past generations, maintained in the present, and preserved for the benefit of future generations. Cultural heritage includes tangible culture, such as buildings, monuments, landscapes, books, works of art, and artifacts. Intangible culture, such as folklore, traditions, language, and knowledge. And natural heritage, including culturally significant landscapes, etc. Fourth question. With the help of your partner, complete the information in the table. Now, there are three sections in the table: tourist spot, favorite, why. Now, you all have to mention your favorite tourist spot and why it is your favorite. Now, here I have written my own favorite and the reason behind why I like them. You all can write your own ones. Tourist spot, Park Jim Corbett National Park. It has more than 200 Bengal tigers. Mountain Kalsubai Peak. It is the highest point in Maharashtra. Beach Tarkali Beach. Beautiful hotspot of coral life and scuba diving. Sea The Andaman Sea. It has numerous marine national parks. Forest Crooked Forest Poland. This forest has strange tree structures. Countryside, rural site, Gokarna village, Karnataka. It has Lord Shiva's lingam. Now, let us begin with the lesson. World Heritage. Students, here the word heritage means property that is or may be inherited. Heritage also means what we inherit from our ancestors and from our past. World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally. They vary in type but include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings, and cities. A World Heritage Site is determined by UNESCO to have great cultural and natural importance to humanity. Now, students, let us see how the idea of UNESCO and the World Heritage was born.
In order to learn from the devastation and destruction of the two world wars, to promote understanding between peoples, and to secure peace, UNESCO was founded in 1945 as the Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization of the UN. A remarkable event strengthened further international cooperation. Following the construction of a dam in the 1960s, the ancient temples of Abu Simbel were literally on the verge of sinking. An international rescue mission prevented this by dismantling the monuments and rebuilding them on higher ground. This successful project raised awareness about the fact that all over the world there are places that are of outstanding value to all mankind and which therefore must be protected from threats such as armed conflict, deliberate destruction, economic pressure, natural disasters, and climate change. The idea of the World Heritage was born. In 1972, the first member states of UNESCO signed the World Heritage Convention and committed to preserving natural and cultural monuments and sites of outstanding universal value on their territory. For a site to be included in the World Heritage List, it must first be nominated by the country in which it was located. The nomination is examined by international experts who decide whether the inclusion in the list is justified. Finally, the World Heritage Committee, a body of 21 elected states, takes a vote. World Heritage Sites shows the diversity of cultures and natural phenomena that are tangible evidence of the bond between human beings and nature. The UNESCO World Heritage contributes to the preservation of these remarkable places and to promoting cultural exchange, dialogue, and peace in a sustainable way.
History of World Heritage Sites. Students, the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world began in early 20th century. And here you all can see these two pictures. These pictures are of Aswan High Dam of Egypt. Egypt started to build Aswan High Dam to collect and control water from river Nile. Now, the initial plan for the construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and scores of the ancient Egyptian artifacts. To protect the temples and the artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movements of the temples to higher ground. Now here are the few pictures of artifacts. The project costed around 80 million US dollars, from which 40 million came from 50 different countries, and the project was a success. Hence, later UNESCO and International Council on Monuments and Sites started a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. In 1965, White House Conference in US called for a World Heritage Trust to protect historic and cultural sites and also to protect world significant natural and scenic sites. In 1968, the International Union of Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at UN Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. The goals of the Convention of the concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO General Conference on November 16, 1972. The World Heritage Committee. This is the photo of the World Heritage Committee. The World Heritage Committee decides which sites will be listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site. This committee meets once a year. It consists of representatives from 21 state parties that are elected for 6 years term by the World Heritage Center's General Assembly. The state parties identify and nominate new sites within their territory to be considered for inclusion on the World Heritage List. Becoming a World Heritage Site. Now students, there are 5 steps in becoming a World Heritage Site. Step 1. Inventory of significant cultural and natural sites is taken up by a country or state party. This is called tentative list. The tentative list is very important because nominations to the World Heritage List is not considered unless the nominated site is first included in the tentative list. Step 2. Countries are able to select sites from the tentative list to be included on a nomination file. Step 3. Review of the nomination file is done by 2 advisory bodies consisting of the International Council on Monuments and Sites and the World Conservation Union, who makes recommendations to the World Heritage Committee. Step 4. World Heritage Committee meets once a year and reviews the recommendations and decides which site will be added to the World Heritage List. The final and the last step, step 5. Here the nominated list should meet at least one of the 10 selection criteria. If the site meets this criteria, it is then inscribed on the World Heritage List. Once a site goes through this process and is chosen, it remains the property of the country on whose territory it sits. But it also becomes considered within the international community. Types of World Heritage Sites. As of 2009, there are 890 World Heritage Sites that are located in 148 countries. 689 from these are cultural, which includes places like Sydney Opera House in Australia and Historic Center of Vienna in Austria. 176 are natural sites, which include US Yellowstone and Grand Canyon National Parks. And 25 of the World Heritage Sites are considered mixed, that is, both natural and cultural. Example, Peru's Machu Picchu. Italy has the highest number of World Heritage Sites, that is 44. India has 36, from which 28 are cultural, 7 are natural and 1 is mixed. The World Heritage Committee has divided the world countries into 5 geographic zones. Following are the zones. First one, Africa. Second, Arab states. Third, Asia Pacific. Fourth, Europe and North America. Fifth, Latin America and the Caribbean. World Heritage Sites in danger. There are many World Heritage Sites which are in danger. Many natural, historic and cultural World Heritage Sites around the world are in danger of being destroyed or lost due to war, natural disasters like earthquake, uncontrolled urbanization, heavy tourist traffic, and environmental factors like air pollution and acid rain. Now, these World Heritage Sites that are in danger are put on a special list of World Heritage Sites in danger. This allows the World Heritage Committee to allocate resources from World Heritage Fund to that site. If a particular site loses its characteristic which allowed for it to be originally included on the World Heritage list, the World Heritage Committee can choose to delete the site from the list. And students, if you wish to learn more about World Heritage Sites, visit the World Heritage Center's website at whc.unesco.org. Students, I hope you all understood this lesson. Thank you.